Hey, listen, it's a long year. It's a grind. I know there's frustration outside. I can promise you there's frustration inside, but that doesn't change the fact that got a lot of belief in who we have here and what they're capable of.
Don't step out of the box.
They've got our support, and we're going to grind through it with them. While we'll take the slings and arrows that are deservedly coming because of the current stretch we're on. Ultimately, we're just going to fight through it. And in the end, I think we'll be where we need to be.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Anzo. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Brian Cashman's comments recently regarding the Yankees and basically how the season isn't coming off exactly as he planned, but it's the same as usual. So let's take a look at this. But then also too, we're going to talk about Gerrit Cole's little finger wagging thing that he did, just a little bit. But besides that, let's get into it. Brian Cashman did talk about Anthony Volpe and about his situation. We did speculate as to if Anthony Volpe will be sent down or not. And Brian Cashman basically said this.
Decision to go with Volpe, and he earned that right with his play. We stated it was a long-term commitment, that we were going to go with him and allow him to develop. And so right now, obviously we need our offense to do better, but ultimately we're not relying per se on one of the rookies to be, filling in a gap, so to speak. So I think that's why Halsteimer spoke a little bit more earlier about, this offense is going to be geared up if the people that we're more used to seeing are doing what they're more capable of doing. And, he allows the younger guys to kind of tuck in and find their way eventually. He'll get his sea legs under him. We have no doubt about that. And he'll join the party as a contributing member more so than not. He's contributing us in smaller ways, but there's obviously a bigger portion of his game that we look forward to seeing as the season plays on. But we're not shying away from Anthony Volpe. We believe in him. We're invested in him, and we know that there's a payoff there for us. As long as we walk that tightrope with him.
With that being said, basically that leaves Oswald Peraza in the minors. He is not going to be moved at all, and the Yankees will not call him up. Could he be used as a trade piece in this trade deadline? Possibly, especially if the Yankees aren't going to call him up. I mean, where is he going to go eventually? I'm sure maybe the Yankees are looking at him as maybe a future second baseman or third baseman, something like that possibly. We shall see what happens, but the Yankees still want to have Peraza down in the minors to develop, I guess, for a full year and have Anthony Volpe develop in the majors. And as Brian Cashman did say, I mean, we can't really rely on a rookie, and that is true. But thanks to Cashman as well, we have to rely on rookies, and that's where we're at right now. Not only that, but Cashman had this to say regarding the Yankees and their whole situation.
I think that when you are struggling, you search for a lot, you tinker a lot. Sometimes you double down, triple down until you can get through it. But that's where trying, I think, as your support group, your manager, your coaches, the level-headed side of this thing is that much more important. Experience does matter. It's not their first rodeo, meaning our veteran hitters, so they understand the ebbs and flow of the game and how difficult it can be, and so. Am I happy with their approach? I'm happy with their commitment. I'm happy with their care, and ultimately, I know I'll be happy with their end results. But right now, obviously, we're struggling. We just got to fight through.
I just really can't believe he said that. I mean, just happy with it. I mean, it's just more like a political type of guy, just saying the right things that he needs to say. But in reality, behind closed doors, I'm sure Brian Cashman is panicking and saying, we need to do something now, especially if we don't have Judge in this and Josh Donaldson isn't hitting or performing, because in his mind, he probably thinks Josh Donaldson should be an MVP. And regarding Josh Donaldson, Brian Cashman did have to say that basically he said last year he had a subpar offensive year. But besides that, previous years he's been an above average offensive player. Basically saying that once Josh Donaldson gets in more reps and more consistency there, then they can be able to tell what they can do with him, which we all know what's going to happen. Josh Donaldson isn't going to perform. Obviously, he is way past his prime, And Brian Cashman has a history of getting these type of players. And on top of that, even Josh Donaldson is considering retiring after this year. Why? Because no other team is going to give him a chance, and he's just might as well get in front of it and say, yeah, I might retire or whatever. Yeah, definitely should retire. If he could retire mid-season, that would be great. Overall, Brian Cashman has constructed a team, and yes, there are injuries, but every team deals with injuries.
If Judge doesn't come back before the All-Star break, as people have suggested, can you withstand that?
Yes. Why? Because we have, like I said, we just have a lot of professional hitters. We have a lot of really good quality hitters that are capable of a lot of great things. So,
are you prepared for that? Are you preparing as though he might not do that?
well, there's nothing I can do right now if he isn't back before the All-Star break, in terms of like tonight's game. He's not here tonight. Right? There's nothing I can do about that. Our hitters are going to do what they can against their opposing pitchers. So obviously when injuries hit, it gives opportunities to others to step up, and so ultimately, somebody else is going to get a chance, and everybody else who happens to be within that lineup gets a chance to continue to do hopefully what they're capable of doing. And we're not going to obviously do any trading to replace Judge, so ultimately we just got to wait for him to get back. In the meantime, we definitely, as I said, I reiterate, we got a lot of guys that are more than capable of doing great things for us. We just need that. We're missing it right now, but it'll come around.
Not only that, but then also you have Judge that is still out on his injury. And that's one of the things right there that Brian Cashman did talk about, and Boone has spoken about it as well.
Do you have a clearer timeline on Judge after the second PRP injection?
I wish I did. It's a unique injury. It's ultimately the most important thing we need to do is make sure that he's healed. When we start to deploy him. Because we don't want this thing coming back on us at any point because it wasn't 110% ready to go. I remember when we went through the process of collecting all the information from the specialist and talking through it with Judge and listening to the doctors conveying it to him. I felt like, at least from my chair, I was translating too, which is this could be longer. We need to be really careful with this because he's a real, devoted athlete. He wants to be out there fighting for his team, fighting for our fans, and that's where missteps can take place. You got to protect the player from themselves, and so he wants to get out there as soon as he practically can, but he's got to be smart, and we have to be smart about it too. So time frame, have no clue yet. I do know he's getting better and he's improving, and that's the second PRP injection, and those are all encouraging signs, but we're not in a position to speculate really on a time frame yet.
And Boone has said that there is some progress that's being made, but Cashman right here is basically saying that, hey, look, we got to wait. We can't rush this, but, it is what it is. But we are 5.5 games back in the wild card chase, and it's the Orioles that are in front of us. We can definitely catch up to that, and I see no problem winning the wild card, especially since you have the Rays there at first place, and they're doing amazing. But I could see the Baltimore Orioles kind of falling back little by little throughout the season because they aren't experienced, and especially in the playoffs, usually these teams do not make it far. So I don't see it as like a huge panic mode, but definitely the Yankees are going to need to do better. But we've been saying that all the time. But it was fun to see yesterday's game and see Cole and everything that was going down. You could see that ninth hitter batter basically trying to mess with Cole and trying to do everything he could that was legal in the game, meaning taking time, not looking at the batter yet. And Cole was getting frustrated by that. And Cole was getting frustrated by that. He just wanted to get the game going, get the rhythm and go. I understand, I've seen a lot of these batters when it's an 0-2 count, just call time. Okay, we get it. You only get to call time once and you're trying to break this pitcher's rhythm, but that's fine. Do that. But not just all these other antics of flipping the bat and all that stuff. And Cole didn't like it. And even the manager of the Seattle Mariners, once Cole basically screamed or laughed or whatever after he struck this guy out and after he threw a ball way over everyone's head, he basically was just no, you don't do that, or whatever. And then Cole went back at the manager and was like, no, like that. I mean, it's fun to see. I mean, in all of this, Brian Cashman, press conference and all this stuff and getting interviewed, that was kind of awesome to see and just kind of laughed at. Yeah, at least we have some players that are in on this that are still performing and doing well. But let me know your thoughts down below regarding Brian Cashman, regarding Gerrit Cole. What do you think about it all? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time.
And so it looks bad, it feels bad, it tastes bad, and no one likes losing. So I understand why the fans are upset and not happy with how it's playing out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.